Hey. What's up? Welcome back to my channel. It's the new year, and one second. Kate and I are here, and we are about to reorganize and unhaul some books. I have gotten to a point where I have no more space on my lovely shelves, and I need to get rid of some books. I need to reorganize things to make it just flow better in my mind, because like series are not next to things that I want them to be next to, yada yada yada. I need to reorganize them. I love these shelves. I will link them down below. They're from West Elm, so they're a little bit pricey, but my only issue with them is they are a perfect square. Like they're the same width back as they are like lengthwise. The height and width is the same. I don't know. It's a square. Like each shelf is a square. So as you can see, I have the books like all the way to the front, and then actually let me show you here. My room was a disaster. Like I tried to put stuff to the side, but now I'm about to show you my chair of dirty clothes, but whatever. So you can see like these are the books that face outward that like you see in videos, and then I have and then I have these like other books behind them. So these ones, like this is facing outward, the spine's facing outward, and these face like to the side. So that is my way of like making more books fit on each shelf, is by like trying to use the width both ways. It's fine, it works fine, but as my collection has expanded, things just don't fit anymore. I also have these like floating shelves you can see right here, and there's some on the other side that you see in the back of videos. So we're gonna reorganize, get rid of some stuff, and maybe I might move some stuff out into the living room because I have some space on my like TV console. There's like some shelves, so we're gonna, sorry, my battery died. We are gonna see if we can fit some books out there. And really, this is also an excuse because I need to clean my room. I need to organize things. There's books piled places, and I need to put them away. It's starting to stress me out. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna turn on The Artful Dodger, because that's what I've been watching recently, and I'm gonna just take everything off the shelves, and then from there I'll organize it into piles as far as like series and genres that I want to keep together. And I'll then show you like what those look like, but for now we're gonna take everything off the shelves. And it's gonna be a mess in here. I'm not gonna be able to walk, but things have to get worse before they can get better. That's my motto. So let's do it. This angle is interesting, but here we have this shelf that I was standing in front of on the floor. This is mostly In fact, I don't want to say mostly. This is my fantasy, YA, mystery, thriller shelf. It's my like books that are in dark colors because they happen, most fantasy books are darker. And then my other shelf is my romance shelf because it's all rainbow pinks and everything. So I've got like Marissa Meyer here. I have 2 of her series, complete series that I've read. I have all my Leigh Bardugo. I've got all my Victoria Aveyard. I have a few other like random YA fantasy series. I've got The Prison Healer. I have The Cruel Prince. Stephanie Garber, Curse for True Love, or Ballad of a Once Upon a Broken Heart, I mean. So I have all that's like this area right here, my like YA fantasy stuff. Mostly series, a few standalones or books that the series is not complete yet, which is the most frustrating part because I'll put them on the shelf and then in a few months when the next book comes out, I won't have space for it next to it. So that's what happened here is like a lot of these books, it was all nicely organized and then I would get the next book in the series and I wouldn't have a space next to it. So that's kind of why we are in this predicament, but there's really nothing you can do about that. So that's this over here. And then behind me, this, you can kind of see the black box. This is my Throne of Glass, the new covers, hardback box set. It's very heavy and it was just on top. I will probably put it back in the same exact spot, but whatever. And then I have all my other SJM. I have the first 2 Crescent City and all of the ACOTAR, except I'm actually reading Silver Flames right now, so that's not here because I'm reading it, but that's besides the point. And then I have this other stack that is other adult fantasy. So there's Light Lark, some Carrie Maniscalco, Fourth Wing, Outlander, and some Brandon Sanderson. And then like this smaller section right here is my like mystery thriller section. So that's going to be Holly Jackson, Good Girl's Guide to Murder, 5 Survive, all of her books, the Truly Devious series, and some other standalone thrillers. So that's what was on this shelf. And I'm going to grab a few of the new editions that belong on this shelf. And then we'll put back what we can in places that make sense. And if stuff does not fit on this shelf, that's when I'm going to have to move to possibly putting it in a different location. But for now, we're going to try and just reorganize things in a better manner on the same shelf. So that's what we're going to do. And I'm already knowing that I'm going to start sweating because I'm wearing a sweatshirt and like pants, and I'm going to be going up and down, back and forth, and it's going to be, I'm going to have to turn on my fan. So, but let's get into it. First, I am going to wipe everything down with a Clorox wipe just to get rid of the dust and stuff because the shelves do tend to attract dust. So we're going to do that first and then we'll put everything back on. Okay. So I have a few books that I decided to unhaul. I'm gonna set them in a pile over here. I'll do an unhaul at the end of the video. So here's what we ended up with. Throne of Glass box set on the top like it was before. And I'll even put this cowboy hat back up there like it was before too. Here I've got adult fantasy, Fourth Wing, other random standalones, and Crescent City on the end. And then on this back side where you can't see, I have ACOTAR. I might rearrange these because there's a new Crescent City coming and there won't be space for it to go on the end here. There won't be space for it to fit here on the end. So I might move these 2 or 3 out of here and put them on the side because I have some space down here on the side when that comes in so it can fit next to it, so it'll look nice and pretty. But for now, I think this looks nice. Shelf below is YA like mystery. I've got Girl's Guide to Murder, Holly Jackson, some other mystery thrillers, Truly Devious. And then on the back side over here is other standalone mysteries and thrillers. Moving on down. Here I've got books that are in a series that only the first one is out yet. So Powerless and Divine Rivals. There is a second Divine Rivals out, but it's on my TBR cart. So I will be adding that, and there's space to add some to this stack, which is why I put them down here. There's another Powerless coming out, so that'll also get stacked in here. I have the King of Scars duology and the Lightlark, the first 2. I know there's going to be a third one. All of Leigh Bardugo is on this shelf, but the other Leigh Bardugo are around the back, which would be the Six of Crows duology and the Shadow and Bone trilogy are back here. And then I have Holly Black, the Cruel Prince trilogy, and the Stolen Heir duology. There is another book in this coming out soon, but for now it's just the single. Let's go down a little bit more. Okay, down here I've got Marissa Meyer. This is the Cinder series and the Renegades trilogy. And then next to it I have more YA fantasy. So I have Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy and the Prison Healer trilogy. And then around the back I have some other YA fantasy. I have Trisha Levensteller, the Serpent and Bone, the first 2. I know there's a third one. I've only actually read the first one, so those are back there. I might not finish that. I haven't finished the series yet. I was debating unhauling it because it's been so long since I read the first one, but I might finish that series, so I'm going to keep it on my shelves. And then on the bottom, whoa. Anyway, on the bottom, is this even straight anymore? Is just random. I have my Victoria Aveyard on the bottom, so more YA fantasy. And there is another Realm Breaker book coming out soon, and so I left a little bit of space for that on the bottom shelf too. And then besides that, it's like YA books. We only have like 1 in the series, so that's what these shelves ended up looking like. And then next to it here, I have some, I have some some fantasy books that are independently published. So there's actually 2 series here. I have the Scarlet Princess series, but these are like, you know, they're the YA, the indie published covers. They're like matte, whatever. And then I also have the Entangled with Fae series. So both of these are over here just because I feel like they kind of go together. And I like being like, I discovered this series before, you know, whatever. So that's my indie fantasy little floating shelf. so far I've been able to keep everything in here. When we move over to the romance, you will see where my problem occurs more. But this battery is also about to die, so I'm gonna charge my batteries and I'll be right back. Okay, it is several hours later. As you can tell, I've changed the light because it got dark, but we've moved to my colorful shelf, aka the romance shelf. Same deal as last time. I'm gonna take everything off and then sort it into piles and then see how it goes back on. So let's do it. Okay, you still can't really see me, but I'm just gonna use my hands and talk a little and point to where things are. This is much more disorganized than my other shelves. I just feel like the genre within romance it's hard to differentiate sometimes. So we're gonna try our best. This right here is historical romance. So I've got those separated out, which is great. I have like 3 poetry books over here, and then like these 2 little ones are books like Anxious People, Where the Crawdad Sings. Like, I don't want to say it's not a romance, it's just like literary fiction. Like, those are just literary fiction right here. These are books about books. So I have the Midnight Library, like the Second Chance Bookshop, the Bookshop of Yesterdays. All of these books in this stack either are like about a library or books or whatever. So I have a lot of those for some reason. Then like here I have spicy romance. So I have like The Nanny, The Roommate, some Christina Lauren, which is not super spicy, but like normally I read spicy books on my Kindle, so to have them like in person is whatever. Some Tessa Bailey in here. So this is like spicy romance. And then on this pile is cowboy romance. It's all Elsie Silver except for one, which is Done and Dusted by Lila Sage. So it's just my Elsie Silver stack plus Done and Dusted. Behind that is like standalone romances that are like books that I would recommend to my mom. So they're like romance / literary fiction. They like fall in that category, is up there. And then this is just random. This is Abby Jimenez, Sally Thorne, and I don't know what else. I just felt like they kind of belong together. And although they're not series, they're like a bunch by the same author, whatever. Next to that is, oh, this is actually cowboy. I'm putting these with cowboy. More things that don't really belong together but are by similar authors, whatever. I have my hockey romance. I have the whole, what is this? It's not Briar U, Off Campus series. They redid the covers. So I got the new covers. So I have all 5 with the new covers over here. So I've got those, and then 2 Colleen Hoover books. These are the only Colleen Hoover books I own. I'm trying to decide if I should unhaul them or not. I can't decide, but I do have these as well. more stacks over here of, I have like all of my book of the month books are together. I like to keep them together. They look good next to each other. And then I have YA rom-coms next to me. And then I have like a few other various things that don't make any sense. So I'm just really gonna try and keep authors together. And we will go from there and see how much fits. First, I'm gonna clean my shelves like I did last time, and then I'll start moving back onto my shelf. Let's do it. Okay. Now we're gonna put these ones that I decided would be better out here on this shelf, this top shelf. So. Okay, so this is what we ended up with. This is like, because sorry, let me share this space with my sister. These are books that I felt like she also really likes. Random hardbacks. These are all by Ginny Colgan, and this is Mary Kay Andrews, but I wanted it next to the other Mary Kay Andrews. And then I've got all Catherine Ray right here. This is random. These three are books about bookshops, and this is random. And then this was already here. So that's how that turned out. I'm not sure how I feel. And also my sister might hate it. So for now we're gonna leave it. And if she comes back and is like, what did you do? That's hideous. I'll figure something else out. But for now, that's what we've got. Okay, and then over here, we have these that did not change. This is all Lynn Painter books. This is all Emily Henry books, and this is all Rachel and Solomon books. I love Lynn Painter and Emily Henry. They're probably my two favorite authors, so they get a shelf for themselves. And then Rachel and Solomon, I just randomly have, I have a lot of her books. I could maybe do Elsie Silver on there, because I also have a lot of Elsie Silver. So I might switch those out if I decide, but these ones are pretty, because I got like I have some like collector's editions of some of Rachel and Solomon's books, so they look nice. And then we'll move over to this. On the top, I'm sorry, Kate, I'm gonna put you down. These are some historical romance up here, and then on this like stack here is just random standalone like literary fiction romance. So they're romances, but they lean towards literary fiction. So there's like Beth O'Leary, some Effie Drake Starts Over, like just some books that I felt like were in the same genre, in that this is a genre that I created. So there's that. Below is YA, except for these last two, which are by Hannah Bonham Young, and they're not YA, but they fit right there, so I put them there. But the rest of these are my like tried and true YA collection. Some really good ones on here. I don't read these as much now, but I love to look at them because it's nostalgic and brings back good memories. Let's see. Can I sit on this and you see me? Yeah. Here we have romance, just straight up. I've got Lucy Score, Carly Fortune, Allie Hazelwood, Elena Armas, Mariana Zapata, just romance that I thought went together. And then over here I've got Elle Kennedy. This is the off-campus series. And then on the back, which you can kind of see, there is my Colleen Hoover, because I didn't want it on the front. I didn't want to give the books away yet, but I didn't feel like they needed to be displayed. So I've got Colleen Hoover, some like random witchy rom-coms, and Christmas rom-coms. So like seasonal rom-coms are back there because I don't want them, like, they don't apply year round, but it's nice to still have them for when the season rolls around. This one, you can't really see what's happening here, but I'll try and give you a good view. I've got Abby Jimenez right here, Tessa Bailey, Christina Lauren, some standalones that I only have like one from the author, Alyssa Sussman's books, and some Sally Thorne. So this is just more romance. And then on the one below, I have Elsie Silver. And this is 3 done and dusted, because I dubbed this my like cowboy romance shelf. So done and dusted, and then 2 books by Amy Berry, Kit McBride Finds a Wife, and Marrying Morgan McBride. It's a series. They're cowboys. There's more coming out. There's only 2 out now, so it's incomplete series. And then again, I put 2 Sarah Adams here at the end. They are not cowboy romance. They just fit perfectly at the end of the shelf, and so I put them there. And then on the bottom, which you can kind of see, is all of my Book of the Month books. So that is my shelves reorganized. Let me grab the books that I ended up putting aside to unhaul, and I will quickly just show you them and not talk about them because I'm sure this video was already long. So let me grab my books that I'm unhauling and I'll show you the ones that I'm getting rid of. Okay, so they're all sitting right here at the end of my bed, which is where my TBR like shelf is. There's just like a small shelf here that has books that I have not read. So I'm not going to get into this today because it's not really organized. That might be another video. If you want to see my TBR like shelf, let me know and we can walk through it together, but it's just at the end of my bed, and this is where I put the books that I'm going to unhaul. I've got the Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Pie Society, Iron King and Iron Daughter. I actually have 2 copies of this, so that's why I'm getting rid of it. I'm keeping the other copy, but for now, there's one going away. This is a series. Where's the other one? This Shattered World. And it's in here somewhere. I'll get to it eventually. Angelica Frankenstein Makes Her Match. Don't want to read that. The War, a memoir. I don't know why I have this, but so I'm getting rid of it. Ordinary Grace. The Book Proposal. If you watch my book tag, you know I did not like this book. I read it this year, so I'm getting rid of it. One Italian Summer. I also didn't really like this one. Big Friendship. How We Keep Each Other Close. Wasn't for me. Chaos Walking. This is the other one in that series. These Broken Stars. Writers and Lovers. Ghosts by Dolly Alderton and The Female Persuasion. I'm kind of sad to get rid of this one because it's literally so pretty. I just don't see myself reading it, but I'm like, do I keep it just because it's like such a pretty cover? Maybe. It's for a display. Yeah. I'm like, oh, I read this. It's been a long time. But I'm like, I don't see myself ever reaching to read this again or recommend it to anyone. So I'm just going to get rid of it. That's how I feel about some of these books that I have read. And I didn't hate them, but I'm not going to reread them and I'm not recommending them to people. So I'm going to get rid of them. These are more random things. I have Devotions for the Beach, Gentle and Lowly. L is for Lifestyle. So these are like not fiction books. This is another devotion book, Wait and See. Find Your Artistic Voice. And then I have two more. How to Love the World, Poems of Gratitude and Hope. And The Language of Flowers. So those are the books that I am unhauling to make some space on my shelves. I feel pretty good about getting rid of these because I am a book hoarder. I will keep these even though I'm never going to read them or I don't want to read them just because I'm like, oh, but I have them. So I'm just going to get rid of them because I'm not going to read them. So that is the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. I feel very good about getting this done. It's been on my to-do list for a long time and I'm looking at the shelves across from me now and they just look so much better, and I cleared up space for some new books to be added. And granted, if I get too many more books, I will have to just get a new shelf. But for now, I have some space to add some new books, which I'm excited about. So that's going to be it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys.